Hello guys, and welcome to this video. I thought we might have a look at a blog today that I found, which is very comical in my opinion, and it is unintentionally comical. Now, it is a blog by a dog owner, a lady. Now, I'm not going to tell you her name or the site itself because I really don't want to make free advertisement for these sites. So if you really want to find the site, I'm going to read the article and you can just Google any of the sentences and you will probably easily find it. But yeah, the article is called "Why People Hate Dogs and What We Should Do About It." Now, at the end of the article, there is a short description of the lady who wrote that. I'm going to read that to you without her name. I'll just call her XYZ. So XYZ lives to help pet parents make the very best choices for their pets by providing actionable, science-based training and care tips and insightful pet product reviews. She also uses her pet copywriting business to make sure the best pet products and services get found online through catchy copy and fun, informative blog posts. She also provides product description writing services for e-commerce companies. As a dog mom to Matilda and Cow, she spends most of her days taking long walks and practicing new tricks, and most nights trying to make the best of a very modest portion of her bed. You'll also find her baking bread and making homemade pizza, laughing, painting, and shopping. All right, so much about the description of her. Now, I'm always cringing when I hear this nonsense about pet parents or somebody referring to herself as a dog mom. Oh my God, yeah, well. And the other thing is, which I find funny, she spends most nights trying to make the best of a very modest portion of her bed, which implies that so she only gets a small part of her bed, and you can probably imagine who gets the rest of the bed. So yeah, her mutts have already taken over her bed. Okay, nothing weird about that at all. Now, I'll just read the article and yeah, I'll tell you I'll just interrupt sometimes and tell you my thoughts. Now the title, Why People Hate Dogs and What We Should Do About It. I'm all ears. Let's see what the dog nutters should do about it, what she thinks. Now, January brings a time of introspection for a lot of us. And this year I found myself turning down a path of trying to better understand people who are totally different than me. I found a subreddit called Pet Free, an online community for people who do not have pets and don't want them. Some of them downright hate cats and dogs. It's fair for people to not like dogs. It's fine by me if they even hate or disdain for dogs, pet parents, there's this word again, as long as they don't bring harm to anyone. As difficult as it is to understand, this was an important mini journey for me, and I want to share with you why this even matters. Why some people don't want a dog. If you're like me, you can't imagine waking up without a dog. What's it like to not have a sleepy chihuahua stretch, sigh, and burrow into your chest again, hoping for 5 more minutes? I mean, just a quick remark here. I mean, again, you can call me crazy, but I mean, how can you not notice the kind of sexual undertones here. You can't imagine waking up without a dog. So yeah, I can imagine it pretty well actually. I don't have any problems with that, and I don't need a Chihuahua to burrow into my chest. Oh my God, like even thinking about it, and you know she's a woman, so yeah, okay, you do you. Now let's go on. Or a marvelous mutt bouncing around, excited to greet you and go outside for her first poop of the day, each morning as gleeful as a kid going to Disneyland. Now again, we've already talked about this supposed excitement of dogs to greet you. Yeah, the dog doesn't give a shit about you. The dog cares about its entertainment and its food, and yeah, it wants to go outside for having its morning glory, and you know, shitting out probably like tapeworm eggs and whatnot. So yeah, that sounds like a perfect morning for me. Yeah, I really need that, absolutely. And just notice this kind of infantilized, childish language that she uses. Now, there's a picture of her at the end, and she looks like, I would say, at least 30 years old, or I would rather say 35 or 40. And the language she's using is just absolutely, it's just infantilized and really childish. It's really worrying. But okay, let's go on. Sometimes mornings mean getting up earlier than I'd like, because the dogs need food and to go outside. Sometimes that means even if I'm not feeling well, I have to get up and care for them. Pets bring us so much joy, but they are so much responsibility too. Oh well, you don't say. We commit to care for them every day. We make sacrifices, we spend money on them that we could otherwise spend on ourselves. Even though when I'm picking up poop, vacuuming up hair, or dealing with barking and jumping and whining, the thought doesn't enter my mind, I don't want to do this. It's automatic. I just do those things. I don't think about life free of it. Even the grossest, most annoying, most time-consuming and expensive responsibilities leave me with a warm feeling, because anything I can do for my dogs is highly fulfilling and meaningful. I'm lucky to spend thousands in vet bills. I'm fortunate to get to pick up poop every day, because it means my loved ones are healthy and fed and comfortable. We are so lucky. Now, I mean, when I read this, it actually reminds me of somebody who's in a cult. Somebody who's just brainwashed and in a cult. Or this actually has to be a parody. I really don't know. But I actually looked at her blog, and it is not a parody. She has loads of articles, blog posts about dogs, so she's totally serious. So she's really glad about spending thousands of dollars in vet bills, and she's so fortunate to pick up poop every day. And like in her brain, it means her loved ones are healthy and fed and comfortable. Now, what exactly is the logic behind that? So when they defecate, it automatically means they're healthy and fed and comfortable. That would actually mean that when they have diarrhea, then they're even more healthy and more fed and more comfortable. So I don't quite see the logic in that, but yeah, okay. Now let's go on. If doing all of those things doesn't make someone feel that way, they shouldn't do it. They often have other commitments in their life, like family or children or a parent that needs care, and that's usually the case with those who post in Reddit pet free. And taking care of yourself is just as important and can be just as fulfilling as caring for others. I also realize how hard it can be for many to simply shower, brush their teeth, or get dressed every day. Mental health issues can make those tasks not only absolutely unfulfilling, but impossible. Okay, yeah. I think we are getting there with the mental health issues. Taking care of my dogs makes it easier for me to take care for myself. I know that's not the same for everyone. Yeah, you're right about that too. It's really not the same for everyone. Why some people hate dogs? Oh, now we are getting to the meat on the bones. Sometimes pet parents get carried away with the moralization and personification of their dogs. And I think that can be why it can be difficult for others to understand us at times. So she already includes herself in the people who get carried away with the moralization and personification of their dogs. So, and yeah, I mean, if she calls herself a dog mom and a pet parent, then yeah, you can only be a parent of a person. And so apparently, yeah, she personified her dogs as well. Let's go on. My dogs bark at strangers. They take a very long time to warm up to my friends. And they don't trust easily. Some people say that dogs are a good judge of character, and that if a dog barks at you, you must be a bad person. And it's not the truth. Dogs bark at people that look different, smell different, or even at a person they normally love who happens to be wearing a hat. Now, I can actually confirm that, like, there are several dogs here in the neighborhood that actually know me already when they see me and they don't bark at me anymore. But when I'm actually wearing a hat, which I often do in winter, then I'm just like a completely new person to them and they just go absolutely insane. So, again, that's just proof for what we've talked about already, that dogs are just bloody stupid. They're just bloody stupid. Yeah. Now, let's go on. And for someone who doesn't like dogs, but is constantly told that dogs are a beacon of character and morality, getting barked at by a dog must feel pretty awful. Worse, many people in pet free have been bitten or attacked by animals. Some have scars, a few have been disabled or disfigured, and many have trauma. And we can't pretend that dogs always have a reason, or that it's always someone's fault. They're animals, and their survival instincts can take over. Now, I find it pretty astonishing if you think about how, I mean, she said it herself that most dog owners personify their dogs. So look at dog owners trying to act as if dogs were just little people who can't speak, uh, you know, trying to put sweaters on them or shoes, or putting them in pseudo-human clothes, talking about them as if they had just the same intelligence level as people, or even were even superior to people. So the anthropomorphization of dogs is just completely out of control. But as soon as a dog does something, as soon as it bites somebody, as soon as it disfigures somebody, as soon as it kills somebody, it's interesting that the same owners go immediately back to saying, yeah, well, it's just an animal, and it's not the animal's fault. It was just instinct, and it didn't know better, and anything. Now, that is a typical feature of people who just don't accept any accountability and any responsibility for anything. They just pick their principles according to the situation, and not the other way around, that they have principles and then they act based on those principles. Now let's go on. I've been bitten by my childhood dog to the point of having permanent scars. I've been growled at by Matilda when she didn't want me to touch her treat. And my dogs have attacked one another. Yeah, okay. So I really hope that there's not too much of a size difference between the two, because then the bigger one is just going to bloody kill the smaller one. But okay. She's probably also in her private life going on about her dogs have never hurt anybody. And yeah, and now here she says that they even attack each other. So it's just a disaster waiting to happen, but okay. To that point, Humans hurt humans all the time, especially those we love. Now, what is this sentence doing here? Humans hurt humans all the time. So that, like, what exactly is that supposed to justify now? So if your dog is going to kill a child, then what would you tell is that what you would tell the parents? You would just go there and say, yeah, well, I'm mildly sorry about the inconvenience, but I mean, you know that your child might have been killed by a human as well. I mean, humans hurt humans all the time, so it's not really my dog's fault because, yeah, dogs don't start wars. Uh, like, what what the hell does that mean? Like, what the hell does that mean? That doesn't mean anything. This is this is even below anecdotal evidence. Like, this is just absolute mental rubbish. I mean, that's just mental rubbish. I mean, I know 8-year-old children who actually use better arguments than that. It's just really, it's unbelievable. But let's go on. We can internalize it, or we can accept that people and animals do hurt one another, not always with good reason, and that violence and love are both very real and very, very hard to understand. No, they're not hard to understand. Violence is not hard to understand. A dog is a predator. It's genetically determined to be a predator. Now, you can influence it a little bit by the upbringing, but the upbringing is not going to change the genetics. So no, violence by animals is not difficult to understand. We will actually go into that in another video. But this anointed girly bullshit about, love and violence, it's so difficult to understand, and we also do hurt one another. This is all, like, this really gives me the creeps. This just gives me the creeps when I read that. Like, I really feel like hearing it's an insult to 8-year-old children when I say that this is on the level of an 8-year-old child. Really, it's some Disney brain that comes up with this nonsense. Violence is hard to understand. No, it's not hard to understand. It's a predator. What the hell is hard to understand about that? My God. Now, the next paragraph, she really went into that and she put a lot of energy into that. And you will see why. The paragraph is called, "What Dog-Free People Have Completely Wrong." Yeah, now that's what she loves to go on about. "There's one thing that I've seen pet-free people say that's simply untrue. Some say that cats and dogs do not love us back at all, and that they only act cute and cuddly because they've evolved to be as means of Because they've evolved to be as means for survival." Sorry, don't blame me for I'm not sure if that's correct English or not. I'm not a native speaker. What do you want? Like, blame her. God damn it. "We know that dogs and cats and other animals experience a rush of serotonin and dopamine when they're with the ones they love, just like us." Yeah, that might actually be true. Just as a pit bull or any other bully breed dog also experiences a rush of serotonin and dopamine when it's tearing apart its prey. Yeah, that's fantastic. So what exactly is your point, really? "Humans too benefit when we are kind to each other and seek companionship. The first sign of civilization is said to be a healed femur, something that's only possible when a human has loved ones to care for them while they heal from an otherwise fatal injury." Oh my God, that just has nothing to do with the topic here, but okay. "Yes, dogs are bred for maximum cuteness and sweet temperaments and companionship, but love is real, and that's a fact." Now, you just really see how triggered she got by this claim, or yeah, by people saying that dogs do not love you and they don't care about you. They only care about the resources that you provide, about the food, the entertainment, the shelter, the water, everything. She gets really, really pissed about that, and you see it straight away. Now, that really was the sore spot that got her, apparently. And yeah, so you can probably imagine why she does have her dogs. Yeah. Going on about companionship and talking herself into being loved by some predators that really don't give a crap about her. But yeah. And look, I don't want you to think that I'm making fun of her, actually. I'm making fun of the article, but I'm actually genuinely not making fun of her. And I actually find it troubles me. I really have to say it troubles me that people are apparently so kind of lost and so lonely that they actually have to resort to such insanities just to feel some kind of companionship and connection with any kind of living creature. And I mean, they have, I don't know, they have given up on people, or I don't know what. But look at the lengths that people are going just to get some affection, even if it is fake affection. It's crazy. But let's go on. Now, interesting next paragraph, why we need to listen to dog haters. I don't implore anyone to go into the subreddit or otherwise seek out or participate in communities of people who do not like dogs. There's no reason for it. Those are safe spaces for those people, and even when they say things that I can't justify or understand, they're free to do it. Well, how generous of you, my God. That probably took you a lot, really a lot of courage. Let's continue. What's most important is not taking our dogs for granted. They are wonderful, and they enrich our lives in countless ways. But they aren't morally superior to humans, and they're hard to take care of. My dogs are my spiritual caretakers, but also my dependents, my friends, my companions, my equals, and my babies, all at once. And that would mean nothing if I saw them as universally loved, perfect, flawless, needless beings. Sometimes dogs bite, sometimes they eat their own babies, and sometimes they love unconditionally. To me, they are the full package, and I love them completely. That's the end. Now, just remember, this paragraph was called Why We Need to Listen to Dog Haters, and she doesn't give one single reason why they actually have to listen to dog haters. She just says that you don't have to go to that Reddit or subreddit or whatever it is called. And then she just goes on with this insane worship of how beautiful and fantastic dogs are, and they are spiritual caretakers. Listen to this nonsense. And they're also her dependents, her friends, her companions, her equals, her babies, all at once. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. So there's not a single reason why they should actually listen to the so-called dog haters. But okay, she couldn't stop herself, apparently. And then in the end, she says sometimes dogs bite, sometimes they eat their own babies. Yeah, actually they do, yeah. And that is something that not even tarantulas do. Not even tarantulas would do that, but dogs do. Unbelievable. Unbloody-believable. Yeah. So listen to that, guys. And she has a disclaimer at the end. I'm going to read that, or at least like half of it that's relevant. I am not a veterinary professional, behaviorist, or trainer, nor are any guest authors unless otherwise stated. My blog posts are based on my experiences with Matilda and Cow. My God, her dogs are called Matilda and Cow. Oh God. Now, let's go on. Sorry, my blog posts are based on my experiences with Matilda and Cow, my research, anecdotes from friends and other dog owners on the web, and as cited opinions from experts that I've interviewed or quoted. Okay, yeah, so in the last video we talked about anecdotal evidence, and yeah, well, here you have it. Anecdotes from friends and other dog owners on the web. There you go. So that is how they keep this insane cycle of anecdotal evidence going. They're just providing the anecdotal evidence to each other, like now even online. Bravo, dog owners, bravo. Unbelievable. Yeah, she's not a veterinary professional, behaviorist, or trainer. Yeah, great. Then why exactly do you have a dog? Why exactly do you have a dog blog, a mutt blog, where you write a whole lot of things about, health advice and training advice and all sorts of kind of advice where you would actually say that you should have some kind of expertise for that and not just anecdotal evidence and a little bit of Google search. But okay, yeah, there you go. So why people hate dogs and what we should do about it. So what has she actually said about what they should do about it? She hasn't said anything about that, what they should do about it. Not a single point. I mean, that is what you can find. And you can now of course say that, yeah, okay, I picked this one because it's particularly bad, but you can easily find other evidence that shows that most dog owners are responsible and most dog owners are not like that. Well, you can actually just have a look at the comments under any dog video on YouTube or wherever, and you will probably see, I mean, not probably, I mean, I did it. So you will see that around 97% of all the comments that you will see are on the level of this blog. They're childish, they are infantilized, they have an absolute lack of logic, and they use a type of language that you just get the impression that you're talking to an 8-year-old. But yeah, so I don't think this is just anecdotal evidence and that I just took the worst example. I mean, you can easily find much worse examples than this one, and not just 5 of them or 10 of them, you can find them in the thousands. So yeah. So here it is, guys. The dog owner or the dog blogger just told us, and yeah, now we really know how stuff is working. Yeah, so thank you for that. So if you really listen to all of this nonsense, then thank you for that, and congratulations. Now I hope you are having a quiet evening or day or week or life, whatever. You take care and goodbye. See you soon.